In this daily drop, we're going to handle 2 lighting problems with 1 flag, including all of this mess. So let's go. All right, everybody, brand new week here at the C47 and on the daily drop. It is Sunday here in the barn, which for me is really my Monday. And if I look a little grubby, if you see lint or anything, I've been in here for about 4 or 5 hours. I came in with the intention of cleaning up the space, which I usually do weekly, and then I decided to flip everything in terms of my setup. So what you're seeing on camera isn't seemingly very different than prior episodes, but it's completely different for me in terms of the way I'm going to be able to work and what I can do. The camera's a little bit closer to me, which is an advantage. It's just a lot of work. And when you put in that work, problems show up. You have to solve those problems. And one of them is because I flipped the key and the way I'm lighting, I can see all of this light hitting the background, which is very easily solvable. The problem is that I don't want to door down the left barn door on this light because I want it to have a lot of spread. And that might seem a little counterintuitive in a little while when you see what I'm going to do, but I still want that light to spread as much as possible, and then I want to be able to control it. So what I'm going to do is flag some light. It's not really light hitting that back wall from this key that's creating the problem. That wall's about 30 feet away from me. It's really that I've got lens flare that's going into the camera, and that's what's creating the problem. So I'm going to handle that with a flag, and then it's also going to help me handle something that I want to handle, which is this feels pretty flat. So I want to handle the background and make that darker, and I want to handle having a little bit more shape on this side of my face. So what we're going to do is we're going to use something called road rags. You may be familiar with them. You may not. They're made by Matthew Studio Equipment. These are an investment. And for me, this system is not something that you're using outdoors. This is an interior grip solution for doing a lot of things, bouncing light, for slowing it down, meaning less light is actually hitting something, and for also flagging or creating negative fill. So basically, this is a flag. This one is 18 by 24 inches, so 1.5 feet by 2 feet. And then, well, I have another one here, which we're going to use. This one is a 2 by 3, so you've got 24 by 36. And if you've ever been camping, and you pitched a tent, you'll know how to deal with these things. Basically, you just put them together like this. They have little bungees in between them. You build the frame, and then you skin them with whatever you're going to put on them. So there are single nets, there's double nets, there's silks. For this particular episode, I'm going to use a flag. I'm not going to use the smaller size. I'm going to use that larger 2 by 3. And then additionally, just a small nano or light stand, whatever you have. And these guys right here, these are called mini grip heads, also by Matthew Studio Equipment. I probably have 6, 7, 8 of these things, and I also use them with the mini Matthellini clamps. I'm not going to use this clamp today. I'm just going to use one of these on the light stand. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to walk over and I'm going to set on the stand that already has a mini grip head that 2 by 3 flag. And what you're going to see is the background's going to change considerably. And let me just go ahead and do that. You'll kind of watch. I'm not going to talk through it, so you can just kind of look at the frame, see what's different, and I will come right back. Hold on one second. Okay, pretty big difference here in terms of the frame. Composition is the same, but what's happening here has now been, in my opinion, solved. We're no longer getting that lens flare going into the camera. And as a bonus, because of where I'm flagging from and where the key is positioned, it's also flagging some of the light on that back wall over there, really front wall to me. And it is basically creating a little bit more shape on this side because I'm no longer getting as much return from that white wall on this side of my face. So a 2-in-1 in terms of what it can do. Very, very simple solution. It's great to have these around in your kit, especially when you're working inside. The kits themselves come with 2 frames and 4 rags. Again, a solid, you have a single and a double net. I'll do an episode on nets in the next episode. And also a silk. And then I've just bought additional frames. You can buy additional rags. It's great to have a couple of solids. And you really have to decide, do you need the smaller or the larger one? Smaller one's great to get into small spaces, but honestly, the 2x3, the 24x36 one is probably more versatile all around. The reason I'm using it, I could have just used the smaller one for flagging the light from the lens, is it's got a bigger spread over here. So it's helping with that second thing that I wanted to solve in terms of my lighting. Hopefully that helped. Don't forget to, and I'll see you on the next episode of The Daily Drop.